Hello everyone, my name's Anthony and welcome to Keep the Change. Keep the Change is a show about the fun and enjoyment of collecting coins. This show is mostly going to be for new collectors and amateur collectors, but at the same time there will be some tidbits and some kind of fun facts for the more expert collectors out there. As this is our first episode, I thought it would be a good place to start talking about how to become a coin collector. The first thing that you're going to need is some literature to read. And the most important thing you can get is this item right here. This is the Guidebook to United States Coins, also known as the Red Book. And every year they come out with a new copy of it. And it is a fantastic book. It's more of a reference guide than a book, so it's not like you actually have to read this giant thing. Let me kind of show you what's inside. It has basically every coin that was minted in the United States. It has information about when they were minted, how many were made, what their general price is, and including a little guide how to grade your coins, all kinds of information. And so this is an absolute essential to have. There's a lot of other materials out there you can get, magazines. There's a lot of websites that have information out there. So I mean, there's a lot more material you can get to read. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need some magnifying glasses, or as we call them, loupes. And so here's a few different styles. I would highly recommend getting both a loupe, which is this device. And you can see it kind of has a little base that sits on top of the object, and it's a little flared out, and light can get through it. And then it usually magnifies anywhere from 8 to 10 times. You can get one. This is a photographer's loupe. It's a little bit different, and it has a little dial you can spin to increase the magnification if you want. So I would recommend getting one of those. They're pretty inexpensive, and a regular magnifying glass. So you have, this kind of more older style. You've got these that you can get at any local crafting store. They just kind of fold up and fit in your pocket. The Red Book and a magnifying glass will really set you up for success for being being involved in coin collecting. Once you have those two things, the next kind of decision you want to make is, well, how do you want to store your coins? If you want to do them singles, we have these things that are out there, and they're called 2x2s, and they're basically just little pieces of cardboard that have a little piece of plastic. So that way you can sandwich your coin between it and see both the front and the back. For example, here is a Lincoln cent. And you can see both the back and the front, and it's just stapled together, and the coin's just kind of, like I say, sandwiched between the plastic, which is being held with the cardboard, and it has plenty of space on the top or bottom, wherever you want, where you can write the date of the coin, the mint mark, any other notes about it, that like maybe where you got it or how much you paid for it. And they come in a variety of sizes, from dime all the way up to silver dollar. So you can really get them however size you want. The other way to go, and the nice thing, it's the same size, is it's a 2x2, but it's called a flip. And it's just a little piece of plastic with two pockets. And so you just slide the object, your coin on one side, and the other side you usually just put a little piece of paper, and you write the information about it, your coin down. So like this is an 1868 2-cent piece. And they're exactly the same size. And here's kind of a close-up of what that looks like. So now the other thing is, once you have your coins in your 2x2s or in your flips, you kind of need a place to put those. The most common is they make these sheets that hold them kind of like baseball cards. And so you just slide the 2x2 or your flip in, and then these go inside of like a 3-ring binder. Or you can also go, the other method is to get what's a coin box. And this is a large box that, if you open it up, you can see has these 2 channels. They make boxes that are larger that have 3 channels or 4 channels, however big you want. And you just put your 2x2s in there or your flips in there, and they just fit in there like that. And then you can also take these little channels pop out. The next thing that you're going to need is a way to track what you're buying, what you're collecting. You can't just, kind of get all these coins and memorize it in your head. Well, I'm sure some people can, but I know I certainly can't. I like to have a way of tracking all the coins that I have. And so you can go the old school way, which is this actually a little checklist book that I've had for 30 plus years, I think now. And it literally just has little check boxes in there, and you just check off what you have and what condition. Um, Although more likely what you're going to do nowadays is probably use your smartphone. There are apps out there you can get that can track your collection. If you'd rather use your computer, you can use a spreadsheet software like Excel or like a Google Doc and just kind of track all your conditions there. I would highly recommend whichever method you pick that it can be mobile, so you can take it with you when you go to a coin show. The other item you can get if you've decided that you want to, instead of collecting singles and using 2x2s and flips, if you want to go for a collection of a series or like a denomination, for example, in this particular case, if you want to go with Roosevelt dimes, there's a company, this is a Whitman coin folder. I think there's a couple other companies now that also make them. Whitman's kind of the largest, most famous one. And this is just a little flip book that opens up, and it has a space for every coin and all the different mints. So in, like I say, 85D, 85P. So you can both get the Philadelphia and the Denver in there. If you decide that what you want to go is like you really want to collect those, but you want to have a much nicer presentation piece or a presentation binder, is they make these big catalog, these kind of binders. This is called a Dansko book, and as you can see, as soon as you open it, you can see it's totally different than the previous one. In this case, each coin has its own slot again, but they have both a plastic cover on both sides, so that way you can see the front, you can see the back. You can't physically touch the coin unless you slide this little piece of plastic out of the way. So that way they're a lot more protected if people are kind of touching them. And again, they have all the slots just like before. And some of these binders even have these screws can be taken out, so you can expand them if more coins come out. The nice thing is those binders, especially the Whitmans, the little blue ones, are available just about everywhere now. You don't have to go find a special coin store or coin shop to get them. I've seen these at bookstores. I've seen them at craft stores now. Craft stores are really big in collectibles. They have a whole row now for like coin and stamp collectors. So you can buy all of these things, the 2x2s, flips, magnifying glasses. I don't know if you can get this at a craft store, the Red Book. I know you can get this at any kind of major bookstore, your Barnes and Nobles, things like that. They absolutely will have all these things. And again, they'll have the blue binders. That's basically all the hardware you need. Some optional things that I would recommend if you can't afford it, if you want to kind of get the next step up of pieces, is especially if you're going to be using a lot of 2x2s, you want to get a good stapler. You want to get a stapler that's staples right up to the flush edge. Also, what you're going to need to get is some cotton gloves. These are kind of one size fit all. They're very inexpensive. You can get them online. You can, again, get them at any kind of craft store now. If you allocated maybe $50, $60, you could get everything you'd need. If I were to start off, or if I was going to make someone like a start kit, I would say I would buy a Red Book, a single loop, probably a pack. They have a miscellaneous pack that I saw last time I was in, I believe, Hobby Lobby, where they had like 10 of each size. So one of those, a package of the gloves, and to be fair, that's probably it. The optional stapler, a checklist. But yeah, that's all you need really to start. So once you have your pieces, your hardware, as it were, the next time I'm always asked is, well, how do I start collecting? Like, what do I collect? Pick a year. So most people, they pick their birth year. So you make what's a birth year set. And so collect one of each coin from there. So if you could easily you have your dollar, your half dollar, your 25 cent, 10 cent, 5 cent, and your single cent. So that's 6 coins. That's all you need. And you can make one of those for you, maybe make one for your parents, or make one for your kids, spouse. It's not going to be that hard of a process for you to, say if you were to get you needed 1995. Well, those coins are all in circulation. So it'll be easy to find those 6 coins if you just spend a little time for it. You could make it a little bit trickier by saying, okay, well, I want to do a birth year set, but I want it from both mints. So the 2 major mints in the United States that produce circulated coins are Philadelphia and Denver. So you could try to do a complete set of both of those. So that's 12 coins instead of 6 now. So, we haven't gone crazy. We've kept it still at only 12 coins. Whatever you want to do, that's what you should do. The other way to collect, if you don't want to go with that that year spread, is pick your favorite coin. Like I showed you a second ago with the Whitman folder. So this is Roosevelt dimes, and it's book number 2. So it's starting in 1965 to current. So you could just go through and just get dimes, and you can put them in a binder. You can put them in a 2x2, however you want to do it. Those are really the best, easiest ways to start kind of finding what it is you like. Some people like the smaller coins, so that's why they start with dimes. Some people like the much larger coins. And dollars and half dollars are still made. They're still a circulated coin. You just need to ask for them when you go to your bank. Which leads us to the question of, well, where do I find all these coins to collect? And hands down, without a doubt, the easiest place is the bank. You go in and you just ask for rolls of whatever coin you want to look through. That's probably the easiest way, and they will absolutely order you anything you want. The other nice thing about doing it that way is you also can kind of hunt. So I've got these 2 coins here. I've got a Buffalo nickel and a Mercury dime. These actually I pulled out of rolls of change that I bought from the bank. After that, the next best place is to go to coin shows, or if you have a local coin club. That is fantastic. Now, the advantage to that is you will be able to find exactly what you're looking for a lot of the time. So if you're missing a very specific date, so like, say you needed this one spot, that's the one dime you're missing. You go to a coin show, there'll be 40, 50, 100 dealers sometimes at these places, and you will be able to find 99% of the time, find whatever piece it is that you need to finish your collection. Not to say it's going to be the cheapest. Like I say, when you go to the bank and you buy a roll of dimes, you're only paying 10 cents for those dimes. You want a specific dime and you buy it from a dealer, you're going to have to pay a premium. But you get what you're looking for, so that's nice. And you also are going to be able to see so much more variety of old coins, maybe foreign coins. It really is going to open your world to the areas that you can collect in. Smaller, of course, is the coin clubs. If you find a local coin club, or even if you start your own, people will usually bring some pieces to show. Like maybe I want to show off my Roosevelt dime collection because I just finished the book. But I also might bring, a handful of extras that I have now that I finished it. Here's some that I want to trade. And so you're thinking, well, now that I finished this, I'm going to start a nickel collection. So I'll bring my extra dimes to trade for some of these nickels and whatnot. And so that is also a really fun way to get to meet more traders and a lot more collectors, and kind of see some more fun coins to collect. I think that's probably enough right now. I have some future episodes planned that we're going to talk about grading, talk about how people value coins, like how the values are actually determined, and all kinds of things. We're going to go a little deep on like specific coins, talking about like some of my favorites and other people's favorites, some of the history of the coins. But if you have any questions, anything that you'd like me to talk about or research so I could help you understand about coins, please absolutely feel free to leave a comment on this video, or you can also contact me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can see all my links down there at the bottom. I'll also put them in the show notes. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day and good luck on starting your new collection.